What is up, fellow LC heads? We do have Vayne up in the mix here. Pretty cool character. We're going to be talking about him. And you know what? I didn't realize right off rip that this was actually a UR arc on here. I just thought it was going to be like some other Earth arc. So cool. And just because of that, just because there is actually a Earth UR arc on here, I don't mind doing this. I think we are only like 15 pulls away from that other piece of sweet gear that this hero has access to. We're going to be getting that armor of his, great attack on it, some crazy defensive stats. This guy is really, really good against physical attack. He's just insane. Ooh, could it turn green and do a little dance? If not, I don't want it. Oh, it was an arc too, just the wrong one. What are you going to do? What are you going to do? I think all we have to do... Yep. I think all we have to do is 5 of these. Nah, I mean, like, if a blue orb came down, that'd be pretty dope. I guess we're starting with a yellow, though. Yellow's halfway to blue. Well, I mean, green. We want green. Sorry, we don't want blue. At least we don't have to worry about that happening. It starts off as a yellow and goes back to a blue. Aww. Okay. We still have a few more chances. So, Vayne. Pretty interesting character. I personally would rather run him than Grandass with his, like, earth damage dealing. I mean, Grandass is awesome because he's for farming heroes. He gives you a boost on experience. So anybody that you run with him, you're going to have a much easier time leveling them up. There's like some real cheesy ways of doing that, and he is definitely part of the mix. Oh, another yellow with no friends to share it with. Come on, Kyle. Use that imagination of yours. Turn this into a red. Turn that into a... Damn it. Man, we're wasting all these awesome single pulls. Because Kyle's not bringing his damn friends. Like, honestly, on these singles, I don't even get hopeful unless we start off with a yellow. Then at least it's like, oh, we have a chance. It's okay. It's okay. This is cool, though. This gives me a UR arc to actually fish for. It gives me something to hold out for. So I might have to wait till next year's, celebration. But at least I will be able to do a 10 pull on a UR arc banner and have a chance at getting something new. That's ultimately what I've wanted. I can't justify just throwing $100 at a banner, even if it is going to get me one or more UR arcs. If they're all duplicates of what I already have, that's just kind of the case. Let's actually take a look at this thing real quick so I can gawk at it. Damage takes minus 10% when attacked is thunder / no attribute. Damage taken minus 20 more. That's cool. So all 30 altogether. Whenever taking damage, boost strength, defense plus max plus 25%, resets each wave. Earth attack damage cap 3k. Okay, alright, so not bad so far. Decent stats. What's the skill? Powerful earth damage to all enemies. Damage cap 15,000. Give all allies an earth attack damage 30% buff. And damage taken minus 20% buff. That's actually fairly effing solid right there. That's universal damage taken minus 20%. That can shrug some shit off for your party right there. You drop that right before a threshold or something, and it just says damage. So it does not discriminate. It hates equally. It will discriminate against all damage, whether it's magic or physical. That's pretty cool. Oh, and you're also doing 30% more earth attack damage on top of that. Pretty cool, and it's given us earth attack rise too. Of course, that's on here for 15 SC. Damn, son. Boulder Sentry. Cut physical attack damage taken based on how much MP is left. So if you stay full on MP, you're taking 15% less damage. That could be very easy to manipulate for some heroes that can like swing their sword with a basic attack and just get like full MP off of it instantly. So that's cool. I wouldn't mind having that for 5 SC. Extra attack, shield, damage from extra attacks. The second hit of dual wield type skills minus 30%. Yo, extra attack shield is a big deal for 4 SC damage. Like I see that getting used in arena a lot because not only are you taking less from extra attacks, the second hit on dual wield type skills, the second hit meaning your offhand, I think, you know, that as soon as you dual wield you double your attack count. Well, you're going to get minus 30% damage from that second attack count. I think that's how it's looking. I could be wrong, but that looks very tasty right there. Shield force, when special gauge is full, defense plus 30%. I dig that. That's dope. For some heroes, that's all their special is worth to them, is the buffs that they can get from their special. Because other than that, like, okay, I drop my special and like I do some half-ass damage that's not even as good as like my S3, right? So some heroes, it's like, okay, we'll just charge that special up, and now I have 30% more strength, and my ranged physical attacks do 30% more damage. That's another ability. I think that one's 6 SC. And now we have this, when your special gauge is full, defense plus 30%. That would scale pretty well with Vayne here, because increasing his defense, like, it kind of has like the Rem effect, right? Because he gets to multiply it. He gets a giant buff to his defense when he goes into defensive sand mode, whatever the hell it's called. He gets plus 100% defense. So whatever you manage to crank your defense out at naturally, his ability is going to match that. You're just going to get to like double your defense. So his defense just becomes stupid, and it's so easy to use. That's what I'm going to say about Vayne. The ease of use here is just awesome, right? It costs 0 MP, and it's an instant cast to go into like the desert sand castle mode, whatever the hell you want to call it, where he's on his defensive. And then you're like not taking any physical damage. I was tracking the damage difference it was making. And some of the nightmare content I was dabbling in, I would start the fight. The guards, the swordsmen, whatever you want to call them, the soldiers, they were hitting for about 300 damage. 300 damage. Now, this is a character fresh out of the box, so you're like, I eat too many 300 damage attacks, I'm dead, right? So I would go into Sandcastle mode. I'm just going to call it that, damn it. 300 damage would literally turn into, what was it, like 15 to 25. So that is the damage difference that I was seeing just from getting 100% more defense. Now, this is a 50 SC character that wasn't even built. I can imagine what you could do with him if you actually, worked on improving his defense. It's probably just going to be absolutely stupid when you go into defensive mode. The best part about Vayne is, an Earth Drive's on here. Cool. Yeah, the best part about Vayne is to go from defense to offense. You don't have to do anything. As soon as you use any of your abilities, you automatically go into sand weapon mode. We're going to show that here in a second. It's just absolutely awesome. I wanted to look at this thing, though. This is an armor. I guess it doesn't... It might matter. Might matter what kind of armor Vayne wears, because... Well, if you want to give him one of the chivalry abilities where it gives you a bonus for having like a sword and an armor, or a sword and a cloth armor or something like that, I think you would have to match up a sword, though. This guy can use any weapon. That's what makes him interesting. Right. This thing's pretty cool, though. Physical attack damage taken minus 20%. That's huge already. 310 defense, 142 mind, 450 hit points, a little bit of thunder resistance, and some resistance to curse. So, yeah, I'm going to be fishing for this later. No reason to go crazy over it now, though. At least there's a big fish out there for me to catch. Very cool. And you know what? I do fancy the armor. And we went just enough. The sand garb. We're going to have to equip it on this guy. I also want to finish spending crystals on him. So we're at 51 out of 61 SC. Woo. So we're going to run this guy. He's been using the Shion suit. 101 attack. Skill damage 8%. Oh, Tsukasa's clothes. I forgot we had those. They really should make custom items easier to find. Oh, it's at the very bottom. There we go. We got his garb. We have his sandals. I put the Amulet of Will just because I was fighting soldiers and knights and all that stuff. But as far as a weapon goes, I actually went with this freaking Warhammer. Why? Specifically why? When physically attacking, chance to break enemy guard. That, to me, is like worth 6 to 8 SC. And he does not have anything like that innately. So I was looking at different weapons I had. He can use any weapon. I just wanted something that was doing earth damage. And I started looking at all the different earth weapons that I have. And I was like, well, this hammer is just kind of chilling. And this hammer has the ability to, like, get around guard, right? The other earth weapons that I had laying around, they weren't really matching that as much. And, again, if this guy had something in his kit where he was already innately doing that, maybe I'd pick something else. But for now, the hammer's not too bad, right? I do have, like, hammer two-handed boost or something like that. Two-handed hammer, right? We also have two-handed machine. That's going to be a possibility for this guy. Trisla builds all over the damn place. If you cannot get around earth resistance, then, well, you just Trisla pistol it, set this guy up to run that, and then earth resistance doesn't matter anymore, right? Because he would just see his way around it. Definitely a possibility here because this guy can equip every and any weapon. If we look at equipment here, he can equip literally every weapon. He can equip heavy armor, and he can't equip a robe. Huh, okay, yeah. So, cloth armor and any weapon that you want. So that's cool, right? And of course, we did see his paid gear. There's not a weapon that they're putting out there for him. So it's kind of like your choice, right? I went with the hammer. I don't think I put hammer boost or hammer high boost yet. Goddess Kiss, that's what it was. I was just at the point where I was going to start messing around with Goddess Kiss and seeing just how absolutely cheesy this guy could be with that. They did not give him Goddess Kiss. They could have given him Goddess Kiss. There's one ability on his tree where I looked at it and I was like, why is this here? Like, I would take any effing ability over this one. I mean, like, it's seriously, where is it? You know, let's just talk about it right now. Let's talk about the most embarrassing shit. Where is this damn thing? It was like one of the custom ones too, and it's like, cool, a custom skill that we will never want repeated again. Not Sand Puppet. Yeah, Sandstorm Gale. Sandstorm Gale. When weapon buff is active, draw less enemy attention. When sand wall buff is active, draw more enemy attention. That is garbage. I'm sorry. That is straight garbage. Please replace that with any goddamn thing. Just anything. Please give me Impact 2 or just anything. Who gives a shit about Sandstorm Gale? Am I missing something? Please, anybody want to stick up for that ability? Leave me a comment. Let me know what I'm missing there, because that is absolute, just worthless trash that will never get used. Why even? I don't know. Besides that, we got a simple build here. We do have some Proud Force in there. It is really, really amazing what this guy can do with Proud Force, because he can go into his desert sandcastle mode. It just becomes really stupid. Like, don't get me wrong, he can take some damage like the rest of them when he's trying to do damage, but as soon as you get sandcastle mode up, just about any physical altercation you're in is it's just not gonna matter. And then Celestial Mass, you can put Celestial Mass on him when taking physical damage. Use 3 MP to half the damage taken. That is the main reason why I wanted Goddess Kiss on him, was because you could use up his MP to mitigate damage even more and literally just be untouchable. And then you could do a couple basic attacks and get all of your MP back and start using it for Sharp Eyes, for Celestial Mass. And this guy wouldn't have a hard time charging up his MP off of Goddess Kiss. I don't think he would, because he has a ranged attack. Now, I've recently fought a foe where I ran into this. I got a terrible time because my Rimuru was supposed to be able to get a few basic attacks in, get his MP back, and throw another piece of freaking apple pie. Well, you know what happened? That didn't happen, because Rimuru could not get it to proc. Because he would get a couple basic attacks in, and this freaking Minotaur thing would swipe with its axe, and then Rimuru would go flying across the damn screen, and I'm like, come on, I need this to go off. I need to steal like 50 more MP so I can fully charge somebody's kit with apple pie. And that just, it wasn't going to happen, because every time Rimuru got over there to take 1-2 swings, the Minotaur knocked him back across the screen. Well, Vayne doesn't have to worry about that. He doesn't have long-range attack, or it would just be fucking cheap, I guess. But it is mid-ranged attack. So he's going to be standing safely away from the enemy, not being interrupted with his basic attacks at all. They are very cool. His basic attack kind of threw me for a loop, because I was like, what is going on here? What is this guy, like a sniper? I mean, first I saw him, and I was like, cool, we already have, Princess Monk Girl. Maybe this is her master type thing. Cool, we're going to have some key strikes, some cool whatever. And no, he ended up being completely... Who knew that a martial artist would be using a mid-ranged... like, when I first ran him, I was like, is he a sniper class? What's going on here? Nope, he actually is a soldier. Right, let's see. I think he has something also where he gets to come back to life. Something along those lines. Oh, we have Hammer High Boost. Strength, yeah, that's what we'll take. I thought about even putting a spear style on, or putting a spear on him, because I have Kenru's spear style. And what this gives me is 15% more damage and chance to nullify enemy guard. Well, my Warhammer gives me a chance to break enemy guard. So it's kind of like the same. I don't know if nullify and break enemy guard are the same thing. But regardless, that other one costs 9 SC. And then, I'd have to switch to a spear. I think I do have a pretty decent earth spear. I don't know. There's tons of possibilities. This is just what we're running. Right? And this is what mine's at right now. Just while I'm messing around with stuff. Right? Like I said, let's see. Let's go run some nightmare stuff. Right? I mean, it's a very simple build. Some advanced aim vitals. And you guys saw what I took at the very bottom. It's only 60 SC. How much can we really expect from him? Well, we can most definitely go run some White Lab shenanigans. We'll just take something to charge his kit for each soldier, knight, and whatever. He is a soldier, right? He is a type, soldier type. I was like, what? Really? Okay. He does have some decent resistances, right? At least the way I have mine set up right now. 30 lightning, 20 earth, 5 to ice. And we're 15 down for fire. So we're a little bit weak to fire, but we got 55 positive and 15 negative. Think about that. We're winning by 40. We're 40 resistance up, right? And I don't think any of the gear that I have on him gives him a ton of resist. Oh, you know what? The Amulet of Will. The Amulet of Will is definitely helping him out. I was like, damn. Okay, so that's dropping that fire resistance from -20 to -15, and it's giving me 5 to ice, earth, and lightning. So the Amulet of Will, definitely pretty damn good here against all the soldiers we're about to fight. And as far as ailments, we're weak to poison, resistance to silent, nil to curse, and nil to stun. That's a big one for me. I'm pretty happy about that. Doesn't care about headaches much because he punches people with sand dragons. There. So we're just going to go onto the world map. We're just going to go on over to the White Lab, and we're going to see if we can tank that that robot at the end. I forget, the MK whatever the hell it is. It's such a large map that we have to walk to the router. We need all the internet we can get. We're going straight to Spirited Assault. We're not messing around because we don't need to. And the first thing I'm going to point out is just ease of use. How easy this guy is to use, right? That's right. We'll actually start off with an S3. Well, actually, 2 of them because we have his item, and it's giving you 20 seconds of that. Here's the thing. I don't want to throw my first S3 and waste it. I want my damage bonus to it. I want my strength increased. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to wait till I get like an S1 to throw. When I throw my S1, sand weapon mode will activate, and then when I throw my S3s, I'll have full damage on them. That's the plan here. So let's just look at our stats real quick. I think I already start with Sandcastle Wall on, right? Look at this. This is what's interesting. Look at our defense, 45-21. Aruto is walking around with some shit like that. Like, really, especially if you're trying to get that Ruto to hit for a spit, then you're actually worried about his strength. Like, his defense, 45-21 is pretty freaking awesome. Intelligence 951, Mind 1182. Yeah, we have Sand Wall up. Boost defense, remove when given Sand Weapon. And how we remove this buff and get Sand Weapon buff is just by using any of our skills. That's it. As soon as we start throwing abilities, we're on to Sand Weapon mode. And then as soon as you're done throwing abilities, you just go in here and go Sandcastle Wall. Oh, look. You're only doing 7 damage to me now. 6 damage. Oh, wow, I'm actually healing more off of that from, like, Heal Guard or whatever he has than they're doing to me. And this is on, Nightmare mode. Now, let's see what happens when we go into weapon mode. Oh, look at that. Now we're getting hit for 120 damage instead of 5. 201, if I saw that correctly. 194. Uh-oh. You know what? Instead of getting hit for 200 apiece, let's just get hit for 5. Let's do that. Oh, and look at that. Just like that, we're getting hit for 5 damage. I'm sorry, but you guys better cast a spell because, like, the physical damage you guys are producing is never going to be enough. Look at that. We're fully charged. Let's throw an S1. Now, as soon as we throw our S1, we go into Sand Weapon mode. Look at our defense. It goes down to 2466. That is why they managed to hit us for 200 damage instead of 5, right? But now look at our attack. It's 5294. So, an easy way to remember is when you go into Sand Weapon mode, your strength goes up to like 5k. When you go into Sand Wall mode, your defense goes up to like 5k, right? It's almost like these values are gonna flip-flop. That is very cool that he has like a extremely high stat that he technically gets to move around. Are we attacking? Okay, well then my best stat is going to be my attack stat. Oh, am I taking damage? Okay, then my best stat is going to be my defense stat. So pretty much how Bayland uses mind, or how Bayland is really good with his mind, and he's really good against magic. This guy is really, really good against physical attack. Magic's gonna do him in. It's like the opposite of Bayland. All right, let's start dumping on these fools. S1, S1. Here's a beautiful S3. This guy's bread and butter. He loves that S3. S2 will find you anywhere. S1. So yeah, he's just all about getting these abilities and dropping the shit out of them. And this is, this is part of the reason why I kind of went, like, how tanky and sturdy he is. This is why I instantly went to, like, Goddess Kiss. What can we do with this? He doesn't have to have the biggest MP pool in the world in order to throw a bunch of buffs out, waste all of his MP, and then get it all back with Goddess Kiss or something like that. So that's kind of like the next thing that I'm looking at, because with how tanky he becomes, especially against physical damage, man, if you could have him doing just like some side support, it would just be awesome, because like with physical damage, he damn near cannot be killed, right? And oh yeah, we haven't even used his charisma. Forgot about that. Charisma, we got some more stats. Look at that. Our defense, 45-21. We're only at 31-76 attack. Oh, let's look at the basic attack. Gotta love that. That is his basic attack. He hits people halfway across the screen with it, even if they're diagonal. We got that worked out. So when you go into sand weapon mode, your basic attack also increases in damage substantially. But if all you have to throw is your basic attack, you should probably go into sandcastle mode. Uh-oh. They have stunned me. Let's see. Oh, it's a good thing we're in sandcastle mode. They're not going to be able to do shit to me unless all of them magically started casting spells. That's just not going to happen here. So really the only thing doing damage to us is that magic. So now we're out of there. Let's throw an S1, go into sand weapon mode. Our basic attack is doing way more damage now. There's an S3 for you to chew on. S2. S1. Shabam. Oh, that's right. You know what? I should milk this for a second so we can see his special. And you guys decide if the special is really going to be usable, or if it's just going to be, like I said, something to hold on to maybe get a bunch of hidden bonuses from having your special charged. So we are at 100 MP right now. This is what I was kind of wondering about. Like, how far can this guy get on his MP? Like, at this point, I would want to try to get in some basic attacks, right? Because as soon as my MP... Well, I want to get some basic attacks in if I could steal MP back. As soon as my MP runs out, I lose 50% of my damage. Like, one of my big damage boosts is Sharp Eyes, right? So yeah, that's going to be the next thing I work on, but let's just get through here. I don't think we're going to be able to wait for his special. We'll run an arc to get his special to go off. Here's a mage, so let's lock target him, right? S1, S1, S1 at an angle. S3, 50,000 damage. S3. Yeah, he's going to have no problem hitting 50,000 all day. Right? Why can't he do more? This is why. Sandcastle. That's why. I mean, if this guy could hit 80,000, it wouldn't be fair. It wouldn't be fair, taking into account the crazy defensive abilities that he has. Like this. Okay. We're out of MP. We're out of MP. We need our castle wall up. Okay, we did get our castle wall up. Okay, now his damage is manageable. He's not going to be able to do enough damage to actually kill us. Our Proud Force will keep us healed. Again, that one ability that he has where it has something to do with threat, where it like reduces your threat or whatever, your aggro, how many enemies are attracted to you. They could have taken that out and given him like, I don't know, like Blood Force would have been cool. So that this basic attack of his would be healing more than just off of Proud Force. Just because of how much his basic attack can do. I think you really can put it to work for you. Just because he's always going to be throwing that damn thing. It's going to be hard to interrupt that. Right? S1, S1, S1. Right? And then we just instantly go into attack mode and we get all of our bonuses and stuff. All right, we don't have to manually switch to anything. We just have to switch back to defense mode. That's the other thing too. I think before throwing your special, there's something to keep in mind here. You do not want to be in sandcastle mode and activate your special because you're not in sand weapon mode yet. You would actively be, I think you would be activating sand weapon mode by dropping the special. It might not give you like the full, it might not give you all the damage you want for it. As soon as we got our special, we got stunned. But you know what? It's okay. If it was any other character, I might be worried, but there's just like damn near nothing to worry about here. He cannot kill us. Because we are in sandcastle mode. If we weren't, it'd be a different story. So I'm going to drop in S1 to get our sandcastle buff. There it is. So our strength is at 5294, right? And as a result, now we're going to throw our special. So here it is. Yeah, some sandstorm stuff. Punches in the face. No, not bad damage. Not bad damage. But compare that to just throwing a bunch of his S3s. Yeah, I don't know. Leave me a comment. Let me know what you think of his special. Is it actually going to be something that we chase to throw? Or is it just, a little side piece of damage, before the break bar expires type of deal? Other than that, very cool character. He's going to play differently just with that ranged attack of his and everything. He is a very interesting, oddball, badass character. I like his design. I like his sprite. I think he looks dope as hell with that sand dragon thing around him. He's got some kind of like martial art crazy assassin clan getup or something. I don't know. He looks cool. He's themed pretty cool. I dig it. Definitely for my Earth party, for sure. I would run him as like a support type thing instead of Grandass. But in order to do that, obviously he's going to need that Goddess Kiss. That's going to be the next thing that I mess around with. Why? Well, because he could then apple pie people and then just charge right back up and apple pie the next person and then just charge right back up. All it takes is a few basic attacks, especially when your basic attacks have like a medium range already and they're a ranged attack. You can stand halfway across the screen and do them. They're going to be going off constantly, so his MP is going to be getting refilled constantly. It is an expensive ability, but I just think it opens up a lot of stuff that you can do with him. If not, if you don't need him to do any support at all and you're just going for survivability and damage, well, it's going to be like a completely different build. You might not care about him being able to get some of his MP back. Maybe you have Gen in the party. Gen's going to keep feeding him 50 MP every time he drops his special. That might just be enough to keep your sharp eyes going, right? And to keep giving you your added bonus damage till the end of the fight. So, I don't know. He's a cool character. I don't think he's like a must per se, but he is definitely fun and different than a lot of the other characters. Yeah, I'm having a blast running him. I'm not at all worried about him not being able to hit for 100,000 damage, just because I can clearly see that this whole defensive ability of his, it's actually worth it. It actually paid off, right? Yeah, that's what I'm going to say about that, because there's been other characters sort of like this where we're kind of taking like a damage cut or something to do something else with, like, oh, let's say counter. I'm going to use counter as an example here. There are unfortunate characters where they're like, hey, instead of, we'll take a quarter of this character's skill tree and we'll make it all around counter abilities. And then that character sucks because counter never goes off. Well, this is one of those things where I was looking at his tree and I saw that there was guard in there, and then I saw there was some tanky stuff in there, and I was like, shit, I hope there's not a bunch of SC and a bunch of stuff tied up in making guard proc, which is almost never going to happen. But the way that they set him up with the defensive bonus that he gets and everything, all of a sudden guard's not looking that bad now. Like, not at all. Who cares how long it takes to proc? I have a 6,000 defense. We can wait all day for guard to proc. The other thing is, too, he has some abilities to make him dodge. I think you can give him illusion, but he already has another ability that's like illusion, so I think you could double stack those up. Make him even more gnarly against, physical damage. And, of course, magic's going to be the downfall. He's not going to like getting tickled by magic, so I think he's a very fun and cool character. These are my thoughts on him out of the box. If I missed anything, if I'm wrong about something, please let me know. Share with the class. We'd all like to know. I'll keep you guys posted on what I'm doing. I've been busy, really busy the past couple of days, especially. Man, it isn't just video games. I've been busy in real life, so. But I did want to get in here and get a recording on this guy because he is very interesting. I was wondering who the next hero was going to be that they were going to release, and it's this guy who I'd never heard of before this, and that's absolutely perfectly awesome. Good. Thank you, Adis. Surprised me. You sure as hell did. And it was a pleasant surprise. Vayne is definitely a pleasant surprise, a pleasant addition to this game. I think he plays differently, and we'll see. We'll see what the people think. We'll see what the masses do with him, but I think he's pretty dope so far. And I really dig that sprite. He's just got a cool look to him, right? So, like I said, missed anything, leave me a comment. And I hope you are all having an awesome day. Mine's going pretty good. I have some other stuff to test in real life, so I'll talk at you soon, and hopefully you'll listen. Later.